Hi everyone. So I was dressed up shooting stuff for a video I was doing for class, and I thought since I had a camera set up, I was looking fine and everything. I might as well do a video. My last video was Green Lantern centric, and this one will be too. So sorry, non-Green Lantern fans. Anyway, um, my last video was inspired by my thoughts I had during Green Lantern First Flight, so I figured I'd just do a video talking about my thoughts of Green Lantern First Flight. Overall, it's not bad. It's just that I think it has a lot of problems by not sticking close to the continuity. And I'm not sure if they're trying to make Green Lantern popular with this movie, because it was still definitely during the Johns run, and I think it was before Blackest Night that this came out. So it's not like Green Lantern needed to be popular amongst comic fans, but maybe they're trying to broaden out and reach non-comic book fans. So they change a lot of weird things in the continuity that I don't really know why they have to, like the idea of the green element. They call it the green element. They don't talk about it being the power of will. They talk about just the green element, the green energy. And it's a little weird because I don't know, the idea of will has been around in it since before Johns, if I remember correctly. It was just a little odd that they kind of just shoehorn it, or just throw it to the side. But overall, it is a pretty good introduction to Green Lantern. I don't love that Sinestro is the villain. I like the portrayal of Sinestro is really good. I like the philosophy that they portray Sinestro with, kind of like that. I talked about it in my last video, kind of like Batman. Another good example, non-comic book, would be Dirty Harry. He's a lot like Dirty Harry. That's how you do Sinestro, space Dirty Harry. And that definitely works, but I just don't like that he's the villain in the first movie in this animated continuity that they're basically trying to set up, or essentially setting up. Sinestro is definitely Hal's best villain, which is kind of weird to say that Sinestro is a villain because his mentality makes him an anti-hero, though he's not portrayed that way most of the time. It's an interesting thing about a lot of the cores that John set up is no one's exactly evil except for arguably Necron and the Black Lanterns. None of the Lanterns are evil, they just have different views of good. So the Red Lanterns are a lot like the Punisher, and in the way that they view justice as retribution. And so there's that, but back to the movie. It's just Sinestro needs that turn, and that's all what my last video was about, was how you need to make the turn of Sinestro very impactful by almost not believing it could happen in a certain respect. But to the movie's strengths, the animation's really well done. It looks pretty fun. There's not enough constructs, but the ones that we do get are cool looking, and Hal shows himself to be pretty clever with the ring. It's weird that you don't see many constructs from other Green Lanterns. It's mostly just, laser beams, basically, which a lot of people get mad that in Justice League, all Jon Stewart ever made was bubbles and lasers. Fair enough, but at the same time, I don't mind when Green Lantern uses that. It seems like kind of a waste of time to think of something ultra complex when a bubble will do the job. But no, I was pretty happy with the animation and the portrayal of the core. The Guardians are probably my favorite part about this, because this is one of the few times that the Guardians aren't portrayed as underhanded and evil, secretly evil, which it's an interesting idea that trying to protect the universe for so long has ended up corrupting them and stuff. But I don't know, I prefer the Guardians to be a force of good because they're the ones that set up the core. And it's a little weird if they're evil, because then, like, well, is the core evil? I don't know. No, but the Guardians are good. Hal's characterization is probably the strongest in this, out of all the stuff in DC animation with Hal Jordan. I haven't seen Justice League War yet, but I don't imagine that it's much different from the comic, and he's not a particularly important character in the comic, in all honesty. No, but his characterization was pretty good here. You get a strong sense of what he believes in, and the way they do exposition in this movie works really well, too. I really like the parallel they draw between cops and Green Lanterns, the idea of precincts, the place that a cop patrols in their car. No, that was a good parallel simile to draw to kind of market it or make it understandable to different people that are unfamiliar with the character. Newcomers, there's the word I want. No, but it was all right. That was pretty good. It's a little weird. Like, that's the other continuity thing, and I know I said strengths, but I keep pointing out problems. The other continuity thing that's really odd is Hal gets the ring from Abin Sur, and then Kilowog, Tomar, Rue, Sinestro, and Boudica show up, and immediately Kilowog and Tomar are about to start, like, Kilowog attacks Hal, and Tomar is about to start attacking Hal, and they get into a really short scuffle, and they're acting like he stole the ring or something. I'm like, no, you guys know what happened. You know why he has the ring. And it's weird that Hal doesn't get brought to Oa once he puts on the ring, but you kind of need... I guess you don't really need that, the more I think about it. The only reason it really plays into the plot is because Hal is defended by Sinestro in front of the Guardians, and that itself comes into the plot later, but small question, just to wrap up that previous thought, it's just weird that they did it that way. I guess it works for this story, but it's weird that they act like he stole the ring, and I don't know why you really needed that. It seems like you could have been true to the continuity and not had that. Just a small question. What is up with Bruce Timm and Ken Jarreau? I don't know what, like, Bruce Timm must just have a hard-on for Ken Jarreau or something, because he's used him like 2 or 3 times, I think. I know he did it in Justice League, there's this, and I'm pretty sure Ken Jarreau is in at least one episode of Batman Brave and the Bold. That part I'm not as sure on, but it's a little weird that Ken Jarreau keeps popping up in Bruce Timm animated things. Maybe, probably Bruce Timm didn't write the script, but still. Whoever's writing the scripts for animated Green Lantern, what's up with Ken Jarreau? Is he that cool? Like, he's such a nobody to me. Like, he's in the comics, sure. He was there, but I don't know. It seems weird. Though the casting of Red Foreman as Ken Jarreau is pretty cool. That was pretty good. I don't like that Sinestro's power battery has a black Green Lantern symbol on it. I thought that was really odd, and it just didn't make sense. Because if you look at Sinestro, on his chest he has the fear symbol, but the battery has a black Green Lantern symbol on it. And I think it's a terrible idea to use a power battery or a central battery as a weapon. With the fact that it gets completely destroyed, and after that point he's totally fucked. It seems like a really bad idea. Anyway, overall, I'm trying to think if I have any other thoughts. Give me a second here. The constructs were cool. Hal hitting the thing around like a golf ball or a baseball or whatever he chooses from moment to moment was cool. And the final fight, I really did enjoy the final fight. No, overall, it's pretty fun. I know I've mostly just complained about it, but these are all, as you'll notice, fan complaints. I remember enjoying it significantly more when I originally watched it when I was not a Green Lantern fan. That's something I think is very important. Is it does really work fairly well for newcomers. You don't get kind of bogged down with the seemingly convoluted nature of the will and fear stuff of the plots. That's helpful. Overall, I'd recommend this to people looking to get into Green Lantern. Just keep in mind they change a couple very specific, long-standing continuity things. They don't have major bearings on the plot. It's weird that they change them. So you'll get a good sense for the character. You'll get a good sense for the universe, but the mythology you have of the universe will be off. So just keep that in mind watching it. No, but I enjoyed this one, so I'd recommend it to people looking for a way to get into Green Lantern a really accessible, short way. I mean, it's only like a 75-minute movie, I think. Give it a score, I guess I'd say 3.5 out of 5. So, I'll be back next week to review something else. There will be a Geeky Gentleman live show this week, so go check that out. Oh, wait, I should probably announce a time for that, shouldn't I? The Geeky Gentleman live show will be Friday, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be talking about collecting stuffs. So, yeah. This video's ending is getting increasingly weaker.